Hi everyone, it's Melissa here in the office. It's straight out of class. Today I am walking you through the tutorial on signing up for Padlet. Padlet is that virtual corkboard or sticky message board that you can use in your online and distance learning with students. I used it in the regular classroom. Kids loved it. It's a lot of fun and easy to use. The best part is it's free and students can access it on their phone or their other devices. So let's jump in and get signed up. This is the Padlet.com splash page where you have the sign up. It's free. We'll click on that and it will take us to the sign up window. You can sign up in 3 different ways, or just using an email and password, clicking on I'm Beautiful, and then sign up. So that'll take you to your first dashboard, your Padlet dashboard. I'm going to go ahead and log in because I have an account. If you will bear with me, I have a new system. I've actually crossed over to Mac from PC, so the learning curve has been challenging, but I love it. There we go. So you can see on my dashboard, I've created several different Padlets over the course of the years. I'm going to let you make your own Padlet on your own time, but this tutorial will just take you through setting up and how to actually do that. I am here to help. If after the tutorial you still are not clear on how to use it, you need help coming up with ideas on ways to use it with your students, you need help with anything with Padlet, give me a shout out, private message, email, comment on the video, whatever, and I'll be taking those questions and comments throughout the next few days. So here's how we're going to use Padlet. First of all, when you sign in, it'll be with your username. My username is Queso. Let me tell you about that username. My students couldn't pronounce Castillo. So after many attempts, one student finally said, I'm just going to call you Miss Queso. And I said, hey, guess what? I love queso and chips, so that works. So when I signed up for Padlet, I was actually in a class with students and they said, oh, use Queso for your username. So it kind of stuck. All right. You have 3 options: make a Padlet, join a Padlet, and gallery. Gallery is a place for inspiration. I would not pull a Padlet someone else had used and use that with my students because you can't control the information that's there. Join a Padlet is maybe your colleagues or teammates have already created or have been using Padlet and they can have you join in on that Padlet to share your own sticky notes. What we're concerned with today is making a Padlet. And we're going to click on the plus sign, make a Padlet. It looks like I need to delete some of mine, so let me go back. I have too many and this is the free version, so that is one of the things that you would need to make sure you keep in mind, is that you don't have too many Padlets going. And some teachers do use the upgraded version. I'm not sure how much that is per month, but I'm telling you, this is really a great program and it has a lot of you can use a lot of you can make a lot of Padlets. Go through and cancel those or delete those out once you're finished and create some more, just like I did. So we're going to make a Padlet. You have the option of choosing the grid or the setup style you want. For this one, I'm just going to take the regular wall. And there are some options here that I'll take you through. So I have a place to put a title. I'm going to put just Facebook. And I'm going to put tutorial here. You'll want to be more descriptive. I can choose an icon. It's not something I normally used. I'll click the back button to get back to my options. This is the address that you will copy and share out with your students. If you're sharing out information and resources with them through Google Classroom, here's the link they need to get to your Padlet. If you are using student email, this is a link again you'll just share with student email. You have some choices for wallpaper, the appearance. I don't want that giraffe, so I could use solid colors, I could use textures, I could use pictures that are available, or I could upload my own. And I'm just going to go back and use some of the pictures that they have. I'll use the cork board. I just sort of like that one. I'm going through fairly quickly because my video limit is 15 minutes and I want to make this just short, sweet, and to the point. So again, if you have any questions about anything that I've gone over, reach out, let me know you have a question, and I'll be happy to help you. All right, some other things that you need to think about are the font, attribution. This is an area that you want to pay attention to. Yes, you want to select attribution so your students' names show up on their post. Comments. I use this for writing in the classroom, and so students, I wanted them to be able to give peer feedback on student writing. So let's say I had my students post their introductory sentence for their paragraph. I wanted students to be able to comment on each other's writing, and so I'm opening up this comments. Reactions. You can choose to put in the like buttons or the upvote or downvote. I'd be careful using that vote, the 5-star rating, or you also are able to put a grade on this. So how easy is that? The reactions is where you'll have those options. So this panel basically gives you all of the things that you can change and have control over as far as your Padlet. Require approval. Since you're going to be in a closed group with students, I would not require approval because it just makes more work for you. I would also, yes, to filter profanity. You're always going to have that one student. Now, I'm going to stop here and say if your students haven't had a lot of experience or have never used a virtual board where they're commenting, I would make sure they understood what the expectations were for how to comment. I always had my students use academic language, is what we called it, and they knew the rules for acceptable online commenting. So make sure you set that up first. Don't just throw out the Padlet, and because what you're going to get is a lot of texting language, a lot of slang, and if that suits your purpose and it's just for fun and you want to go with that with your students, then that's perfect. But if you're wanting to use this in an educational way, make sure you set up the expectations ahead of time. All right, I'm clicking next. I have all my choices in place. I'm ready to start posting. 2 ways to do that. I can double click on the screen and I get my virtual sticky note. Or if I want to get rid of that, I can delete that and I can click on the plus sign, the pencil at the bottom. Same feature. So students are able to write here. I'm going to put Facebook. You can see their username is at the top. And I'm going to put tutorial. Now, once I'm finished with those 2 areas, I have some options here. This is uploading. I can pick a file. This could be an image that I've collected and is on my computer, and I can add that in. I can post a link. So if I'm creating this sticky note for myself as the teacher, I can have students go to a particular link. And when they open the Padlet, they'll see my instructions and my link. When they click on it, it takes them to that website. All right, let's click out of that. I can also have them search the web for, let's say, prepositions. That's going to be a board that I show you. And so they might find a video that they can share with their classmates. They click on it and it shares it. You could share out a video. Here they can take a photo of themselves. This might be fun if you were doing some kind of scavenger hunt, or if you just wanted to check in with students and say, hey, let me see your face. They would have to allow the camera access, and then you would click the capture, 1, 2, 3, and then post it to their sticky note. So just a fun way to connect, get that social and personal interaction that I know we're all missing, and just another fun thing to do on the sticky note. The 3 dots give you more options besides those 3 that are listed. You could have them draw. If you're a math teacher and you're wanting them to do some kind of drawing of shapes, I know this is a reach, I don't teach math, but they could do a drawing and submit that. Obviously, I did not get my drawing skills from my mother, who was an amazing artist. My classroom, students would always make fun of my drawings on the board. So some possibilities for drawings. Again, those 3 dots to give you more options for that. I want to take you to my dashboard and show you an example of how I used prepositions. That was the skill. This was an exit ticket, and so I simply made a Padlet titled Prepositions. I had my directions. Students were able to see what it was they were required to do. These sticky notes will move around, so in your settings, you'll want to make sure that you have the option of not movable. So I asked them to choose 10 prepositions and write a phrase with each one. This can be totally random. You can only repeat the preposition 2 times. Here are the examples my students gave. I'm able to do a very quick, at-a-glance, informal assessment, or I could take a bit more time, make sure these were all prepositions and prepositional phrases to show their understanding or to show that they understood the skill that we learned. If I wanted to be really fun and do something different, I could have my students post a prepositional phrase or two and then go out and grab a picture of this if they wanted to do something that way, or I could have them go out and find a picture on the web and then add that to it if we wanted to just add another feature to that. So this would be an example of how I use this as an easy exit ticket. Let me show you how I used it for Bookshare. My students went to the library every other Wednesday, and many times students did not know a book that they wanted to read, or they were, I don't know what to read. So I said, okay, let's do something like this. Let's do a Bookshare. And with the Bookshare, I also took a grade on some very simple grammar skills. Students were able to choose a book they had read, share it with their classmates. They put the title of the book, the author. They did a small synopsis. They gave it a rating, and they were able to go out and use that feature to select a book cover using Amazon.com. So this was an easy way to select books for students who were having trouble deciding what to read or to check out that day, and it was an easy way for me to get a grade on that. Let's go back and see if I can look at one more. Bucket list. We did a bucket list assignment at the beginning of the year. Let's see if I can get that out of the way. It's going to take me there. Okay, so this was a bucket list assignment, and it was the beginning of the year, a little quick warm-up where I had students, I created the Padlet bucket list, and I had students type in what they wanted to do on a bucket list. So a lot of fun, a lot of very educational things, some things that would be not so educational. Poetry notebook topic ideas, I had students list the ideas that they were going to use for their poetry notebook. So they were going to have a theme of true friends, and their poems were going to revolve around honesty, love, and friendship. You can see that students were able to share this out with me very easily and quickly, assessed and given a grade, a check grade, a completion grade. Lots of ways to use Padlet. So I'm recommending this for online and distance learning. You can see it has a lot of options. It's fun, it's free. There are some limitations, as you saw, with the number of Padlets, but once you've completed that Padlet, just delete it out. And you've taken the grade, or you've taken the completion grade, and go ahead and delete it. And that way it keeps the number of Padlets you can create something within that free range. If you have questions, message me. I'm here to help. I hope you have a great week, and stay well, friends.